Hello and welcome to the Rouse Cloud Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Rouse Sr. And this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. You know, I like to always give my shout outs to everyone that's listening out there. And of course, I'm going to start right here in the home state of North Carolina. Stand up. We're so glad that you guys have tuned in. Man, I'm telling you, ain't nothing like a Carolina blue sky. And I'm just excited. And I got to give a shout out to Boardman. Man, y'all holding us down out there. And we really do appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen. Of course, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The Trey folk right here in Greensboro, the Gate City, to all surrounding areas, Raleigh, North Carolina, the Queen City, Durham, the Bull Town, Virginia, stand up, and Commonwealth State. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening out there. Listen, thank you to our listeners out there in Los Angeles, California. Man, we appreciate y'all out on the West listening to us. To those that are listening in Chicago, man, Texas. Listen, thank you to our Canadian listeners out there. Thank you as we continue to go abroad over there in Brussels, Belgium. Shout out to our Flemish speaking community, and to those that speak Dutch as well as French. Bonjour and hello. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening and just checking us out. And like always, Brittany Griner. We don't want to forget Brittany Griner. Every time we're going to keep saying her name on the Rouse Cloud Podcast. Bring her home, Brittany Griner. Say it with your chest, Brittany Griner. And listen, I have my hostess with the mostest, the one and only Mr. James Washington. Woo, woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
What's happening, man?
What's going on, good brother?
Hey, man, I'm glad you're here, man.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, sir, man. You doing okay today?
I am. I really am. I woke up today in a good mood, in a better mood than I did yesterday, but I'm in a absolutely great mood today.
All right on. I ain't going to say that. Today is a horrible day. Today I'm not having a good day, but all of a sudden my day became great because I'm loving exactly doing exactly what I want to do.
Exactly.
I love. I had a tongue twister there. You saw me. I was like, God darn, Ross, get it together.
Yeah, but you got it though, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, yes, man. And so that's kind of like what, it's a segue into what we really want to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget who you are. Enjoy who you are.
Right.
And be happy who God created you to be.
Mm-hmm.
And in your darkest time, you said it the best. What did you say? In your darkest times.
Yeah, in even in your darkest moments.
Yeah.
God tends to light it up.
Yeah.
So, don't forget who you are.
Yes.
Live in it and be who you are.
Yeah. It's something about finding out your true purpose. And that's kind of like what we kind of like what we're going to talk about, being solid in who you are and
right.
being excited about who you are.
Right.
And then just totally accepting the plans that God has for your life.
Absolutely.
Even though you have opportunities to do so many different things.
Absolutely.
You really have to make your focus point on that thing that God gave you that really is the thing that's going to bring you to your true purpose.
Absolutely.
It's something how we have so many gifts and talents, and we thank God for them. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
And like we said, in the beginning, we was like, man, I today is not a good day.
Right.
I'm having a horrible day today.
Right.
And but all of a sudden, my day began to get better.
Right.
As the work that we're doing,
right.
and to see it unfold.
Absolutely.
Every time we get together.
Absolutely. The it is what makes you happy.
Yeah.
It. Even in your darkest moments.
Yeah.
That's why God placed the purpose on your life.
Mm.
It's because that it, even in your darkest moments,
yes.
that it will brighten it up.
I totally agree, because today like I said to my listeners today, I'm not having a good day.
Right.
Hell, and I'm going to let myself have this bad day, but I'm not going to let it put me in a depression and put me in a slump while I don't continue to press forward and do what it is.
Absolutely. And
to do.
One thing that I like that you said, though, and it's something that your sister, she says a lot. Whenever we take our daughter over there for her vocal lessons, and afterwards, like I said, we always talk to your sister for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
She's a dope individual.
Absolutely.
She really is, yeah.
She says this. She said, it's absolutely okay to have those moments.
Yes.
You're transparent and you're saying, hey, look, I'm not having a good day. Like, woo, I just need you to keep me in prayer.
Yeah.
I'm just not having a good day. No. But you're human.
Yes.
And I think that's what a lot of people forget.
Yes.
We are living a human experience. Yes. I had that same exact experience yesterday before when I got off when we talked yesterday.
Yeah.
I was going through it too.
Wow.
But that's one of the things that God uses through me.
Yeah.
Even when I'm going through something.
Yeah.
God still uses me to still encourage other people. Mm-hmm. You wasn't the only person that I talked to yesterday that was just like, hey, I'm not having a good one.
Yeah.
It was like multiple people that I talked to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even in those moments, I found the light in those moments. Yeah. I found the peace in those moments. I found the joy in those moments.
Yeah.
And even when I pulled up here yesterday and I had the meeting upstairs with the marketing guy, the reason why I was going through that is because I feel like I'm having that entrepreneurship experience.
The woes.
Yeah. Money's kind of depleting.
Sure.
You got plans to do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. You're independent. A lot of the money's coming out your pocket.
Absolutely.
You just don't know where it's going to come from, what's going to happen.
You don't.
So I was having a moment yesterday, and in my moment, I was questioning, and this is why I was in the moment that I was having, was because I was questioning myself. And I talked to my wife about it last night. I said, babe, I'm good, but mentally I'm not good. And it's because of this. I said, I believe I'm at that phase in entrepreneurship where I'm questioning, are the decisions that I'm making, are they stupid and irresponsible?
Yeah.
Or are the decisions and actions that I'm making, are they sacrifices towards what's greater to come?
Correct. Yeah.
And I was battling that.
Yeah.
And I was battling that because the results,
man.
And I know you can attest to this. The results is not necessarily happening the way that I want it to happen.
Sure.
So there's a battle like, God, come on now.
Yeah.
Money's starting to go away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Like, God, am I really making stupid decisions?
Yeah.
With certain decisions that I'm making, or the decisions that I'm making, are there sacrifices towards the greater?
Yeah, and it really is. It's the sacrifices that you're making towards the greater.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
There are, the one thing that I'm experiencing about being an independent, there's some lonely days.
Yes.
There's some days where you have to go by yourself.
Yes.
There are some days where you just have to say, listen, I'm going to go alone because I need it done this way.
Yes.
I need consistency.
Yes.
And a lot of times people don't understand the mindset of a person that's deciding to do something for themselves.
Absolutely.
Everything is taken personal. Everything is, they acting funny. Or no, they think they better than me. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
just that you're so focused on what you're doing,
right.
You don't have time for anybody to impede or stop the progress that you're making.
Absolutely.
And so that's where you have to get in your mind that there are things that people are going through in their lives that you can't control.
Right.
There are situations, there are responsibilities that you can't control.
Yep.
But it doesn't stop the rhythm of the beat of the drum that you beat.
Exactly.
And how you move.
Absolutely.
And the work ethic that you have.
Yeah.
And the purpose and the drive that you have for why you're doing it.
Exactly. And I think a lot of times too, we as the entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
Especially those who, well, of course, if we're entrepreneurs, we're starting businesses. But for us as entrepreneurs, one of the hard things is to have people who have the same work ethic.
Absolutely.
There's an expectation, and then when people are not respecting that or not following suit as you being the leader, sometimes that can be a little bit disappointing.
Absolutely.
Or even outside sources, families, family members, friends, they don't understand your drive into doing this right here.
No, not at all.
So they may think that there is a neglect when it's not necessarily a neglect.
No, it's not at all.
You got to understand this is what I'm called to do.
Absolutely.
And this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I wish you would, jump on. Now, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Going to make sure that I set enough time to make sure I put back into you guys.
Absolutely.
But I want you guys to understand that this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure that I got time for my children. I got to make sure I got time for my wife. Thank God, she's very understanding. But I understand, she's a woman.
Sure.
She wants time.
Sure. And I think again, if you're going to be in business, communication is so key.
Absolutely.
Across the board. You have to say what you need to do. What's that song that John Mayer has? Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say.
You sound good, bro.
Thank you, bro. Just say what you need to say,
man.
as it pertains to business.
Right.
And then if what you're conveying is not being heard, then I have this mantra where I just keep moving forward. I don't answer anymore because I've already said what I needed to say.
Right.
I've already said what my expectation is for anybody. And I think I'll say this. I've been one on the other end of it where I probably didn't understand why that entrepreneur made that decision.
Right.
I've been one that's been the person in the seat of the follower.
Right.
I've been the person that wasn't the decision maker. And the decision was made, and I didn't agree with it.
Right. We were the employees.
Correct. We were the employees.
Yeah.
So I think at that point, that's where you have to make a decision as a follower and say, if I don't like it done that way, then I need to start my own.
Yeah.
And I need to do it the way I want to do it.
Absolutely.
And it's freedom in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's so much freedom in that.
Absolutely. And I think you grow to respect those who were in entrepreneurship before you, who you was an employee under.
Yes.
But at the same time, as an employee, we wanted to make sure that we wasn't being disrespected.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of employers have an issue with that too.
Yeah.
They like to treat their employees like their children.
Yeah.
These is grown adults.
Folk.
These are grown adults.
That's grown folk.
So I think, see, you and I, we're alike. Yeah. We have good hearts.
Oh, yeah.
So we're forgiving people. Mm-hmm. We truly believe in giving people opportunities and chances.
Absolutely.
Even when they mess up.
Absolutely.
We still like to give people opportunities and chances.
I think it's necessary because somebody gave us an opportunity.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, we don't make excuses.
Exactly.
Because there is a mission that we're on that's greater. There's a greater purpose,
Absolutely.
A greater drive behind why you're doing it. That's
Absolutely.
the difference between somebody doing something to say, hey, I want to be famous. I want to be cool and doing something. No. This was given to me in my heart.
Absolutely.
And so I take it personal. And like we said, I take it personal because this is affecting my purpose and my destiny, and you are affecting a covenant relationship that I have with God that says, God, you have spoke to me about this. I'm going to do it 100%. Because when you gave it to me, you gave it to me all at 100, and you didn't take it back.
Exactly.
When you gave it to me, you gave it to me with intent and purpose, so that I would be great, so that my destiny would fulfill my there's so much joy in your purpose. I'm sorry, but there's so much joy. I'm gonna let you make your point.
No, go ahead.
But there's so much joy when you get into your purpose. We was just talking about it. When you get into your purpose, there is a divine thing that happens.
Absolutely.
And so we was just talking about it. You're a human having a terrestrial experience, a divine experience,
That's right.
if you would, for those that are believers in Christ. I don't want to offend anybody, but you're literally, when you get into your purpose, you're having an out-of-body experience, because now it becomes something kingdom.
Yeah.
It becomes a different drive.
It's God. It's godly.
Yes.
Because it was again, when you hear those voices or anything like that in your head leading you to an idea, that's God calling you to do something. So when you're living in it, you're operating as God.
Yes, man. And you have to be intentional in every move that you make.
Absolutely.
You have to be intentional on who you let inside of this beautiful divine kingdom agenda that God has given you.
Absolutely.
You just have to be careful and mindful of who you let come inside of that divine thing that God has given you.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's why people who aren't meant to be around that usually runs away.
Sure.
Because the godliness
of it. Yeah.
Of that.
Yes.
Will run people away.
Yes.
Even when you're in an environment such as that.
Yeah.
If you're leaving that environment,
yes,
you wasn't supposed to be.
You wasn't supposed to be there.
You know
I totally agree with that.
You just wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah. Also, with people who come around or people who we bring on,
sure,
we're giving them opportunities. They're forgetting that the opportunity that's being presented to them is creating a lane for them to operate in their godliness.
To be successful.
Yes.
It's so, the one thing about God purposely giving you is not so much for you. It's to enhance somebody else's life.
Yeah, we are all servants.
We are all servants. So I'm serving the people, even though we're working together, right? We're serving each other.
Right,
There's
absolutely.
a purpose that's bigger than that.
Yes, sir.
There are job opportunities that you get. And the other thing I wanted to say is, if you're the one that's creating a lane for somebody to be successful,
right,
then that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
And you have to be happy for that individual if they go before you go.
Absolutely. And then that's one thing I really do commend you on, because I remember it was like, a month and a half ago?
Yeah. I think, it was a month and a half
ago.
So
about a month and a half, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I just received a random email.
Yeah. Great opportunity.
It was just saying, hey, look, we want you to be a PA on photography production.
Sure.
Working with some A-listers. So
yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah.
And that day that we were shooting, it was 2 days we were shooting. One day I was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Because I've committed to you sure. Tuesdays.
Sure.
So,
and I'm so appreciative of it. Because I really, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was just like, Lee. I was just like, I don't know if I should take this.
Yeah.
But I talked to my wife, and she was like, hey, just call him.
Yeah.
Call Ross, let him know.
Yeah.
And when I talked to you about it, you was like, dude, you can't miss. I'm not going to stop you from missing this opportunity.
No.
Like, you have your own thing. You have your own business going on too. I'm not going to stop you from progressing and from growing your business in any type of way.
Yeah.
So even that simple gesture right there, I definitely appreciate you.
Oh man, it's all good, because I think that's really the thing that we're supposed to do in the earth realm. You being blessed and you being able to give somebody an opportunity to be great or become great.
Right.
That is your sole purpose here in the earth, to serve.
Absolutely.
And when we all get it, then the blessings of the Lord will take us over. Because when I think about when I think about my earlier days as a young man,
right,
I was nowhere ready to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Did I have the smarts? Did I have the intelligence? Did I have the drive? Did I have the work ethic?
Right.
Did I have the know-how?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
But there were some pieces in my life that were broken that I probably would have projected on somebody else and further hurt them instead of help them.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that means whatever it is, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's sex,
right,
whether it's mishandling money, mishandling funds, whatever it was, that was the thing that was a problem for me. at that time, if I was a business owner, if I would have projected my dysfunctions on somebody else, then it would have came back to me and been very detrimental. I would have been in prison for a long time, whatever the case may have been. So when I look at where I was then to where I am now and how I have worked with people these last couple of years, the amount of integrity that I've had, and sometimes being loyal to a fault because of the mistakes that you made. And so you're like, I'm recreating my life. I'm doing something different. There's a loyalty piece that I really didn't know much about in the beginning. So I'm going to be intentional and be consistent and be loyal. But sometimes we can operate out of guilt. And it becomes toxic loyalty instead of a pure form of loyalty.
Here's the thing with loyalty, though. You have to be loyal to yourself first before you can be loyal to anybody else.
Say that.
So if you're disrespecting yourself and put loyalty towards everybody else and neglecting yourself, there's never going to be any progression.
None, man.
And I think that's what a lot of people got to pay attention to. A lot of people like to sit here and say, "Oh, well, that's just selfish of you." But God says that you got to, you got to do for others, and others will do unto you. But if I'm sick in bed, how can I go out and do something for somebody? If I'm unhealthy, how can I leave the house and go do something for somebody? Again, the loyalty for myself and to my health is more important than anybody else. Because again, if I cannot physically do something, then I've neglected myself. I was not loyal to myself. So a lot of people have to recognize that and remember that, and don't let nobody tell you that you taking care of yourself first is a bad thing. Because you can't do nothing. Same thing with financially. You want me to give you $100 and that's all I got to my name, but I need to go grab food.
For your
then you've been mad with me because I can't give it to you.
True story.
No,
got you.
I need this $100.
Facts.
So I have to be loyal to myself before I can do that to you.
That's man. I'm telling you, Woo. That's so important, man. I'm actually glad we're having this conversation. And listen, man. I hope you guys that are. Those guys that are listening. Excuse me. I hope this is helping you guys. Those that are entrepreneurs. Those that are wanting to be independent creators.
Absolutely.
It's a ton of work that goes into it. And I want to say this. Also to those that are content creators, those that are podcasting, those that are actors, your first work is not going to be your greatest work.
No, it's not.
It's going to be horrible.
I'm going to
be honest. When I think about what we're doing now,
absolutely,
we have had some horrible sound.
Horrible sound.
We have had some
lighting problems, video problems. We've had it all, man.
And we continue to grow from it. But each time it seems like, okay, once we got the sound down,
right.
Once we start figuring out, because you got to figure it out.
You do. And that's the most important thing. I think a lot of times people quit because of the first mistake. And it's just like, you're not, listen, you're not going to come out the gate running a 4.340.
No, sir.
That takes training.
Yes.
That takes practice.
Say that.
When you come out them blocks, you might fall and stumble the first couple times.
Yes.
You might get halfway down the track, and then you may feel a little tightness.
Talk about it.
That's because you didn't prepare yourself or you didn't stretch yourself out, anything like that. When you was racing, prior to the race. But you remember these things.
Yes, you do.
You start to take notes.
Yes.
And then you start to implement those thoughts, those notes into each thing that you do. Like the lighting setup. You know why I didn't set it up like this initially.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But you can't really worry about what people have to say.
Absolutely.
But I get from where you're coming from with it. But at the same time, I think we pick up gems.
Right.
We pick up diamonds. We pick up sapphires. Pick up gold and silver. All of these beautiful, wonderful resources that we pick up along the way. they were given to us, and we was around it so that
absolutely
this day was to come.
Absolutely.
This day came for a reason.
Absolutely.
So we can't take light of the tutelage that we sat up under.
That's right.
For us to be what we're doing because we were around it.
Right.
We saw it. We touched it.
Right.
We heard it. We felt it.
Right.
We understood everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just a matter of reprogramming your brain and say,
Yep.
wait a minute, on this day, I saw them do that.
Right.
Okay, so we need to fix this.
It's education.
It's education.
You're learning.
You're learning.
You know what I mean?
And then you go from other people. Like I have people that have reached out to me, and they got a lot of money, but I don't want their money. I want their mind. I want them to teach me where am I making my mistakes. That's more valuable than the money. I want to learn from them.
Right. You remember that meme that was going around where there was like, would you take 200,000 or a lunch or a conversation with Jay-Z?
I'd rather have a conversation with Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Because there is something that he's going to say that's going to propel me to the next level.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight.
Exactly.
But I believe if you apply, application is key in everything.
Right.
Apply. Whether you're reading the Quran, whether you're reading the Bible, whether you're reading the Torah. Anything, application is key. Faith without works is dead. You got to do the work.
You got to do the work.
You got to do the work. You got to make the mistakes.
And that's one thing, God. It's another point that I'm gonna go back and make too.
Go ahead,
but
bro.
That's one. I'm glad you said that. That's one thing that God, He keeps speaking to me on.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me because of your work,
man.
Like every week, like I know you're doing the same thing.
Yes.
Ross of Ross Cloud, he come up here every day.
I'm here every day.
Every day.
I come up here like I'm making $1 million every day.
Exactly. And that's the same exact thing that I do.
Yes.
Every Tuesday I make sure I get up and come out here. Or if there's anything else, I'm making sure I'm running out, I'm doing it.
Yes.
I've in the past, probably about month and a half, I've had more business meetings with anybody doing the video production stuff than anything that I've been doing for the past 3 years.
Yes.
I've had way more business meetings within the past month and a half.
Yes.
And I know it's going to pay off.
Oh.
And I keep questioning, like, God, why? I just need you to send me that one person who's going to be like, bam, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just like, no, you need to go up in there and learn and study and understand. And each business conversation that each business meeting that I've had, I've taken and I've learned so much from each one of those business meetings.
Yeah.
And this brings me to the point that I was just about to say.
Yeah.
The reason why I would take the meeting with Jay-Z is because I'm all about building relationships and building the right relationship.
So important in business.
If I have that relationship with Jay-Z, the education continues.
It continues.
So if I'm learning, that means I'm implementing.
Yes.
And if he's seeing that because of our relationship, then that starts to lead to connections and access.
Yes.
That's why I would take that. Because now
it's access.
If I was to take the 200,000, he would recognize, oh, I can just pimp him to do whatever I want to do. If I toss a couple dollars to him,
he gonna go.
Yeah.
But the information is so much more valuable.
The relationship and that information, those two things are very key and very critical and very important. And that's what I'm recognizing with these past couple business meetings that I've been taking. It is the relationship.
Yes. And you don't want to tarnish relationships.
Absolutely.
When you're pressing forward with people, because here's what I say. Even with me and you. Right. We both are starting. The way I look at it is we're not starting from the bottom, but we're starting from the bottom.
Absolutely.
We're not starting from the bottom because we've been here before.
Right.
So our life experiences will propel us to get to the next level. Right. If you would. Right. Even though we're really successful now because we're doing what we're able to do and we're able to sustain it and be consistent and nothing be out of whack.
Right.
That's successful to me.
Yeah, a lot of times people
open the door. If you can come in and open the door every day, even though you ain't making no money, and the lights flip on,
right,
you still a success.
People measure the success by what they expect to receive from it.
Right.
And a lot of times in this business that we do, entertainment business or even athletes,
sure,
their level of success is based off how much money did I bring in.
Correct.
Or am I on TV?
Yes.
Or who do I know?
Yes.
Or am I around this certain group of people?
Correct.
So that's how they measure it.
Correct.
Me and my wife, we had this conversation years ago. I had to tell her, I was like, look, you're doing music.
Yes.
So you're being successful.
Yes.
Now, are you making the money that you wish you could make from it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
But
not at all.
You put out a song.
Yeah.
So you have to be happy about that.
You started.
I am a children's book author.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I am a successful author.
Yes.
Did I make money from it? No. At one point, was I disappointed about it? Yes, I was, because I expected to be able to, travel to make some good money.
Absolutely.
Probably still can.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to meet the right person and get the right education.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, yes, sir. So
it's coming. As we were talking about relationships, I can't call a person's name, whenever people take you under their wing or under their tutelage. I have been, there's some people that I talk to on a regular that have some influence, right?
Right.
And they don't look like me, right? And so I value those relationships.
Yeah.
And one of the things that is said always is, you don't have to take pictures. Don't take pictures of me and you standing here together.
Right.
Because this is for you to get information, not for you to chase.
Exactly.
And so I went in with that attitude anyway.
Right.
I ain't taking no pictures with you.
You know what's crazy?
You want information. I want a relationship with you. I don't want a facade.
Absolutely. I've never really been the type. I did it one time, and when I did it, man, I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, what the heck did I just
like?
do?
I've never been the type, and I've met a lot of celebrities before.
Sure, man.
I've been around, and I've been in some environments where I could have taken, even what I was talking about earlier, when I had the opportunity in Charlotte.
Yes.
Met 2 A-list people.
Right, and they were A-listers.
Yeah.
I must say.
I'm talking about shaking hands, talking to them. Even one of them asked me if I wanted a beer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, and you kept it professional.
I kept it professional.
Sure,
Another one, we went out to the golf course.
Yeah.
We had business out there.
And it's a beautiful thing because I feel like that's something that God gave to you.
Word.
It was a moment that you have to say, okay, my gifts and talents are bringing me before kings and queens.
Absolutely. Moments like that is a reminder to me from God, just saying, hey, look, you're on the right track.
You're on the right track.
Don't forget what I showed you.
Don't forget.
You know what I'm saying? Don't forget it, and don't take it for granted. So you're on the right track. I know it's not major. No, you're not the person that's actually behind the camera taking the pictures, but
it doesn't
you
matter.
The room.
You in the room.
Your name is starting to be heard.
Access.
And here's the crazy part. I just got an email.
Yeah.
But I couldn't take it because I had already had a booked gig. So
wow,
it was going to be in Columbia, South Carolina. And it was going to be, I can't remember, but it was another professional athlete.
Yeah.
That was going to be in that area. And we was going to be doing work for them.
Man.
And it was just like, I was like, I would love to, but I'm already booked. And they said, thank you. We'll keep you for further bookings. And I was just like, but that's what I like and that's what I appreciate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good stuff. Well,
yeah, man.
I love that. I love that what you just said, man, I wanted to take that. But I'm also looking at how the setup is the way that it is.
Right.
Look how you're set up to be successful.
Word.
Look at the access that you have that's arm reach to you.
Right.
Look at the rooms that you're in.
Right.
Look at the people that have influence that you're around.
Right.
And I want to say this, when you get into your purpose, when you truly, truly are in your purpose, or like P. Diddy always like to say, your bag.
Your bag.
But it's your purpose.
Right.
Whatever your purpose is, whatever it is that's so very valuable and precious that God thought enough to give it to you.
Right.
It's a wonderful thing. It's a great place to be in.
Absolutely.
You don't have to compete with anybody.
Absolutely.
You don't have to watch numbers.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching numbers on Facebook and on Instagram, your feelings going to be hurt. I really feel like it's who hears you. I would rather somebody that has the ability to take me where I want to go,
right,
versus having 100,000 listeners or viewers. And don't get me wrong, that's okay, because that does equals, I mean, that does equals dollars.
Absolutely.
And to these big companies,
right,
that does mean sponsorship.
Right.
That must be this. But you'll be surprised at some of the people that I've met that may only have 10 likes, 100 views,
right,
and they have sponsorships and eating very
exactly.
well.
That's what, and the reason why it's like that is because they knew somebody, or they were introduced to somebody,
yes,
who introduced them to somebody,
yes,
they built the relationship,
yeah, man,
they learned, and they was given access.
Yeah, and I think we hear these stories all the time. When I'm the person that I think about is when I heard T.D. Jakes first talking about his first sermon.
And I think he was talking about it because he's originally from West Virginia.
From West Virginia,
and I think he did it like in front of like I think it was in front of like a laundromat.
Yeah,
to do his first sermon.
And then he ended up being invited somewhere because that one person heard him.
Yeah, all
it takes is one, and I think people fail to realize that all it takes is one.
And that's exactly what was my point.
Yes.
When I said I'm having all these business meetings with so many different people.
Yeah.
And I was getting frustrated, but God had to remind me. It was like, hey,
yes,
I just need you to go into these different meetings and just learn.
Yes.
It's some of these business meetings that I've been into, people are talking about investing, not hiring me, dude.
Investing into what you're doing. That's what you want.
Exactly. You want sponsorships, investors, and backings.
Yes, that's what you want.
And access.
That's it.
Of course, you want relationships too.
Of course, yeah.
But people are talking about investing, not hiring me.
No, investing.
People are talking about investing.
Yes. Show me.
I'm talking about, and every time I've left one of those meetings for people who talking about who was investing me, like it didn't hit me until it hit me, which is like, yo, I got people talking about they want to invest.
Yes. Let us do this for you.
Yeah.
Let us do this for you. It's a beautiful thing for, again, your gifts and talents.
Absolutely.
To come before kings and queens, because those kings and queens, whomever it is, they're the very ones that God is going to use.
Absolutely.
To give you the access you need.
Absolutely.
And to touch the people that you need to touch.
Absolutely.
In order for you to continue on your destiny. We all have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a call. We all have a destiny.
Right.
Whatever that is, that's for us to figure out with the divine.
Right.
We have to look to him. When I think about a great story, when I think about I want to say it's in Genesis 12, and I hope I'm not wrong to all the reverends and the bishops out there. Please don't, and all the lay members that say he ain't right. That Negro don't know what he talking about.
He don't know what he talking about. He need to get back in his Bible.
Right. He need to study the word and show himself approved. At any rate, like I said, I never claimed to be a theologian anyway.
Absolutely.
But I think it's Genesis 12, where I think it's the story of Noah. I think it talks about Noah, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
You could, yeah.
But at any rate, the story of Noah, when I think about when God gave him a purpose to build the ark, as crazy as it sounds. Okay, you're going to build an ark that's gopher wood, that's so many feet, so many centimeters, feet. A couple of football fields.
Not one.
Right, and you're going to do it, and it's going to rain, and I'm going to flood the earth.
And I want you to put 2 of every species.
Yeah, every species in there. Can you imagine what Noah was thinking? Like, first of all, we looking at the Bible. I wouldn't be surprised if Noah said, "What the hell?
Yeah,
God, you got to be kidding me, God.
He ain't got no bulldozers.
Now, God, look here, man.
No tractors.
Me. What you talking about, Lord?
Yeah, me and my family.
You got to be kidding me. So, if you're not having a moment like that, then you need to double back and find out what purpose is.
Man.
You need to find out what your true purpose is, because greatness is not easy.
Man.
It's hard. It's tough. There's going to be complications within your relationships. Friends are not going to understand. You're going to have to cut people off and leave people here. You're totally going to have to separate.
Man, you just hit me with a scripture.
Man, listen, man.
I never even thought about what.
If your purpose is small, if your purpose is tiny, but if your purpose is larger than you, my goal has always been worldwide. Worldwide. I love what God has done, right? I love exactly what he's done. I love exactly what he's doing for me.
Right.
It was purpose for me to do this. And when I accepted it, a lot of times we sit in church and we hear, God said you're going to be a minister and a preacher. And God said, man, we got 50 million churches all over this land.
So you mean to tell me every person in the church got to be a deacon, minister,
preacher? That ain't my call.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I feel like once we really tap, again, relationship with God. We're not taking away from us needing a preacher or a pastor to speak into the earth realm from the office that God has given them to preach from.
Absolutely.
And this comes from maturity.
Right.
This comes from sitting back. Man. This comes from experience. This comes from looking back, observing, and not saying anything, just being quiet and listening.
Absolutely.
But when you really, really understand true relationship with God, that means turning your plate down. That means if you like to drink cognac and a little cigar, if you like to smoke you some weed, you might have to turn your plate down from those things just so you can hear what God is saying to you, so you can move into your next dimension, your next realm, whether it be family, whether it be business, whatever it is. Sometimes you got to turn your plate down. I've turned my plate down a lot since I've done this, and I've been surprised at how long I can actually fast. See the principles work. We have to apply them. Fasting works.
Yeah, we just got to do it.
Faith to fast, bro. It's not easy. It is not easy to say, well, darn, I wanted that drink of cognac. Or darn, I wanted that piece of chocolate. See, we so deep and so deep and wonderful till I think we miss it. No, we are actually having a moment. We're actually having a kingdom moment with something that's even greater than us. We can't explain it. But I promise you, if you apply the principles, they work.
They were.
It took me a while to get it.
Yeah.
I'm 51, and this is the happiest I ever been doing something that I love to do, bro.
Man, it's
you know what I'm saying? So if we all can kind of grasp that, and I'll be honest with you, I've been in church pretty much all of my life.
Right.
And I went through the formalities. But until I started actually applying some of those scriptures to my life, and I said some because I'm still a work in progress.
Right.
So don't judge me.
Right.
But I'm still a work in progress. But if you apply those things that's being said, and it's just as simple as reading, really meditating on them, and get a clear understanding. The beautiful thing about God that I'm learning is all of us are different. You're different in the way that you understand something, the way you comprehend something.
Right.
We all are different, but it's the same. But the beauty of God is the diversity in the way he speaks to each and every one of us.
Absolutely.
Even though it's the same, it's different, Woo.
Right.
Because we're different.
I'm gonna say this to you right now, and I'm getting choked up because God is really showing me the magnitude of purpose. God showed you the magnitude of what God leads you to do.
Yes.
Like I've never ever received Noah's story the way that you just said it.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand. Like when people are in entrepreneurship, people don't understand that is service.
It's a divine experience you're having because it's not normal, Woo. Go ahead.
What you're building, what I'm building, do you know how build metaphorically?
Yes.
The ark.
Yeah. put it in perspective. Like,
do you know how big that is?
We couldn't even fathom.
Again, it's not just one football field.
No, it's not.
So God just ministered to me that quick, which is like, do you understand how big it is what you're building?
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people understand
think we understand that when God gives you something, that's the way you have to look at it. And that's the scripture that God gave me. He gave me the story of Noah. And the funny thing about all of this, as we get older, and even though we all have, we have flaws, we all have things that we have to work. All of us got a thorn in our side. All of us got something that we've got to get better at. There's not a perfect individual in this world. You show me a perfect individual, I swear, man, I give you everything out of my pocket, bro. And it ain't much, but I'll give you everything I got if you can show me an individual that's perfect. There is no perfect individual.
Not one.
I don't give a darn who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care how much. The thing is, I don't go home with you.
Right.
I don't go home with that televangelist. I don't go home. I hear so many people giving so many people a hard time as it pertains to whatever they're doing, whatever they've done, or whatever they say, or whatever they do. But that's not my.
Yeah.
I pray for you.
Right.
And you pray for me.
Absolutely.
That's an area where, hey, maybe you feel like you're maybe you feel like you're right.
Right.
But in the end, it leads to destruction.
Exactly.
I don't care who you are. you can put your twist on it. You can put your spin on it. But ain't none of us perfect. Woo.
We are all.
I don't care.
We are
how
all.
much.
I say it like this: we are all imperfectly perfect.
Yes.
Because you are perfect the way that God made you.
Absolutely.
I am perfect the way that God made me. But living in this world, we are not perfect.
No,
so that's what makes us imperfectly perfect. God created us to be who and what we're supposed to be.
Yes.
During this path here on earth, decisions, choices, decisions and choices that we make aren't always going to be the best or right.
Yes.
So
yes,
that's what it is.
It's a lot of trial and error.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of trial and error, and the importance of listening to the divine. Mm-hmm. You know, my thing pretty much is like, even if you don't believe, even if you don't agree, that's fine. Right. That's fine. But it's so important to just hear that still small voice that speaks to you that says, no, do it this way.
Exactly.
No, go over here. No, they can't come in. No, you're going to have to release them because you're starting to get aggravated. No, you can't do. Yeah. No, don't spend that money over here.
Let me show you.
Go over. So it's really a lot of times, and I'll let you speak. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
A lot of times I sit here some days and I just sit quietly and I hear and I listen and I write down.
Right.
I purposely sit here some days and don't say a word.
Gotcha.
Whether I'm listening to some jazz, whether I'm listening to some old school hip hop, some R&B, whatever it is, some days I come up here and I just sit quietly.
Right.
And if I hear the divine, if I hear source, if I hear God, our creator, say, hey, pick your Bible up and read this scripture.
Right.
That's all he's asked me to do is just to obey him.
Right. You want to know my
and if you want
to know where my quiet space.
Go ahead, bro. What's up? I hear you.
Shout out to Tanya, because Tanya said the same thing too. Yeah. And my wife, she looked at us like we were crazy. You know what my what quiet space is?
What your quiet space at?
When I'm taking a shit.
Boy, you stupid.
For real, man.
I get it, though.
Because guess what?
Though? I can
my
see
children is not coming up to me, Daddy, I need this. Daddy, I need that. My wife is not coming to me and said, baby, can you do this? Baby. No, it's my place. And sometimes I go up in there with my headphones on, with my phone. There's meditation music. Or guess what? I'm on social media sometimes. But sometimes I just be up in there and I just be sitting, man.
Yeah.
That's how I was. Let me show you.
Oh, boy, that's funny. God almighty, boy.
But for real, man.
No. Go ahead.
How divinely God is and how God speaks to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how. Just think about your name of your company and the name of my company.
Yeah.
And people say, well, wow, how did you come up with Raw's Cloud Podcast? Wow.
Yeah.
How did you come up with Lunchbox Streams Meeting?
Yeah.
it's because God placed this in us.
Yes, it's there.
And there's so much meaning behind it.
It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot. I know.
That's divinely, man.
I went through. I had so many different names when I first wanted to do this. When I first decided that I wanted to do podcasting, first of all, I clearly didn't know anything about it. I promise you it didn't. I just knew that it was something that was calling me. I wanted to do it before I even touched Jet Black, before I even got introduced through CMB Studios.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah, we give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
And if it wasn't for those two entities,
that's right,
then I wouldn't be doing this. So you don't take away credit from folk who,
That's both of us.
That's both
Again,
of us. I know, right?
That's where we met. That's where we met at. I was doing my internship over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's facts.
Everything is all divinely, but I didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about your names.
But yeah, I went through like several different names, and I remember sharing them with the owner of CMB Studios, Chris. I remember sharing them with them, and I had like several names that I shot at him.
Right.
But I also remember the first time I made my own T-shirt with Ross Cloud on it. It actually was the SoundCloud emblem, but I knew I couldn't use that, of course.
Right.
But I was like, I'm gonna wear this because this is first of all, is my name.
Right.
It may not be my logo, but I don't have to worry about it because I'm not going to use it in a commercial setting or for my business.
You was very proud of that moment.
But I was proud of that moment. I was like, Ross Cloud. Yeah, that's my thinking, my thoughts. Not even thinking that here it is later on.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be a part. I'm going to do an internship with the Aaron T. Jones Jet Black Empowerment Foundation that came through CMB Studios. And because of those two entities and that relationship, here I am. I manifested it, but didn't realize I manifested it. To here now, circle all the way back around that same T-shirt with Ross Cloud. Because I remember Chris looked at it and he said, man, I like that. I said, yeah, man, it came from my mind.
Word.
Not even thinking in its truest, purest form of manifesting something. I manifested that many years ago, and then I operated in it under that tutelage. And then here I am having my own. Beautiful story.
I'm going to piggyback off exactly what you're saying, right? So check this out. And
I'm glad we're having this conversation because I know a lot of people may not know how we traditionally met, how we linked up, but that's how it happened.
Absolutely. So Lunchbox Dreams came to me. So I have two companies. One is a nonprofit. One is the the video production company.
Sure.
What you guys are seeing right now.
Absolutely.
You guys are seeing. This is my company, Lunchbox Dreams Media Group LLC. That's my LLC. But prior to the LLC, I had a nonprofit first.
Yeah.
Lunchbox Dreams. It's pretty much a mentoring company which caters to the youth and just saying, hey, look, we want to encourage you to live out your dreams.
Right.
But I don't think Lunchbox Dreams could be what it is today until I actually lived in my dreams.
Yes.
How can I encourage the youth to live in their dreams and I wasn't?
Yes.
So I like you just said, I do have to give a shout out to Chris and CMB Studios for giving me the opportunity to intern over there, because now I was able to actually turn around and do the same thing for you in return.
Yes.
Living in my dreams, under my own company, doing what I love to do.
Absolutely. And it's a beautiful story, but I'll say this with everything, with everything that we see happening, we still, the one thing that I love is you give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
And you also look at that person as saying, wow, they saw this in me.
Right.
And so regardless of, you going off doing your own thing, that's one thing that you can hold dear to you, that, wow.
Right.
They saw this in me, they believed in me, and now I'm walking it out as an independent.
Absolutely.
Doing my thing because of those two relationships.
Absolutely.
And so it's a beautiful thing. So you don't take light of the places that you've gone. You don't take light of the people that you've been around.
Absolutely.
Because even through G. Davis Productions, same thing.
Absolutely.
I was able to get my start with acting. And just the exposure of being in the room with I'm talking about some talented individuals that can improv.
Exactly.
Then you don't realize what you're around until you get out and you do your own thing.
Absolutely.
And then you see the greatness of those individuals.
Absolutely.
Because you're operating in what you were taught from
Absolutely.
being up under the tutelage.
And even those people did the same thing that we were doing.
They sure did.
Yeah. So it's just a recycling thing. We have to learn how to just
reciprocity in a different way.
Absolutely, that's the word I want to say. I don't want to say recycling, reciprocity, and it continues on.
It continues on. Bro.
What somebody's done for me, I'm going to be doing for somebody else.
Sure.
And what I've done for them, they're going to take that same.
And you know, what's so crazy. We're doing it now.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're actually empowering people, but if people don't understand what we're doing. And they don't get what we're doing, then they'll miss it.
Absolutely.
I was telling people, I was like, man, there was many days. There were many days where I went places and, it might not have happened.
Right.
I worked hard. Brother, I worked hard. Didn't make no money.
Right.
So I think when you understand what we always say, the access.
Yes.
If we had access to knowing how to, you know how to operate cameras,
right?
But once you got around and you saw lighting, you saw sound,
right?
We figured out the sound here. We had to remind ourselves, okay, wait a minute, Greg did this.
Yeah,
he would send the file sound over to this,
and then to sync it,
and then you was like, wait a minute, Ross, I can sync it with the video.
Yeah,
all of that stuff comes back to your remembrance. But remember, we was at Soul Lab Studios doing this.
Yeah,
and so again, we were exposed.
Yeah.
So we heard the lingo. We heard the talking.
Absolutely.
We heard the understand. We heard you should get this microphone.
Absolutely.
We heard. We didn't realize I didn't realize how expensive this stuff was.
Oh, trust me, I knew how expensive. I knew how expensive
it was, but
from my end, I knew expensive. I knew how expensive it was to make sure that you have certain camera lenses or certain lighting, or anything like. I understand.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, I don't have the best lighting, but I have lighting that works.
Yes, you do.
You know what I'm saying? But
in time.
Oh yeah.
Everything's in time. I don't have all the microphones. This microphone right here, this Rode microphone. This is my baby. This is the creme de la creme in here.
Word.
But I know the Shure mics. That's the gold. The Shure mic. Is the gold.
Them things is sharp and crispy.
Let me tell you something. And I love, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking light of what God has blessed me with these Rode mics, these other mics that I have. Because these other mics are great vocal and great speech microphones.
It is getting the job
Yes,
done.
It is, man.
I'm pretty sure Noah wasn't sitting there saying, well, Lord, you didn't give me no bulldozers yet. Nah, Noah said, you know what? We're going to take this mud. We're going to take these wood. We're going to find something to make these nails. We don't necessarily have the hammers that they're going to have in the future, God, but we're going to use whatever. If we got to use these big boulders to knock these nails in, we're going to do it.
I love what we did, too, when we were working with the sound. I remember we sat down.
Yeah.
This was before, I think I only had 3 mics, right?
Yeah.
I only had 3.
Yeah, you did. You only had 3 mics. Matter of fact, you only had 3.
I only had 3 mics.
That's crazy. Yeah, because you was...
I was like, I got to purchase 2 more.
Yeah.
Get this. Because this mic was one of these mics. So I only had 3 mics.
Yeah.
And then one day I broke down and I said, well, I'm going to get that thing. I'm going to get that old mic.
I remember because I had to leave and go someplace. And you was like, I'm about to go to Best Buy right now.
Man, I went and got this. I actually went to Guitar Hero.
Guitar Center.
Guitar Center. I'm darn game, But I went to Guitar Center and I purchased this.
Right.
And I remember when I first purchased it, I was looking around. I was like, man, that baby about $100 by itself. But then when I took it out the box, I was like, oh, this baby is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then when I looked at the Shure mic, I was like, hey, that baby $399. I ain't getting that right now. Let me get $100.
Exactly.
Let me go ahead and purchase this.
Right.
Get this stand. So this will be where I'll start at.
Right.
And it's a good start.
Absolutely. It sounds
I think
good,
all the
man.
mics that we have are a good start.
Yeah, they work good,
and
man.
I knew that the interface that I purchased had to be.
Man.
I knew the interface had to
I can't front. You know me and the missus about to move into the crib, man. So
get you one.
I'm
man, go on and invest.
She might look at me like, more stuff, babe. But she already know I'm going to get another camera.
But Woo, this right here would do it for you, though.
Yeah,
I would.
I love it though, man.
I love this, man. I'm grateful for this, man. I would tell anybody, man, it's worth the money.
The crazy thing is, like,
it does.
When I was doing my research on YouTube,
yeah,
it's a lot of people that got that one.
Yeah, man, because it works. Is it pricey?
Yeah.
But, bro, I can hold 6 microphones.
Yeah. See, that's good, man.
That's 6 mics, man.
Usually podcasts don't even hold no more than 3 or 4 people, man. So.
You know, some people have certain interfaces, and guess what?
Mm-hmm.
The Rodecaster is dope.
Okay.
There's something about this Zoom PodTrack 8 that I absolutely love it, man.
That's dope. I like it.
Yeah. It works for me. It gives me exactly what I need. And, when you have engineers that can tell you, hey, Ross, you need to work on your sound.
Right.
Or he'll figure it out. He's been around it. That's the first thing Tori told me. He said, I heard it a couple times, Ross, and I said, he'll figure it out. So I'm not even going to tell Ross. Ross going to figure it out because he knows we've been exposed to sound. We've been exposed to good sound. Because I worked with Tori, in the church, of course.
Right.
But we traveled a lot.
Okay.
So he worked up under some great engineers.
Word.
I mean, and all of them are doing some great things.
Word.
In this field of engineering when it comes to sound.
Right.
So
see, thankfully for me,
that's how I learned.
We have YouTube.
Yeah, that too.
So I can sit back and just learn and study, learn and study. Of course, you like to try to give it your own little twist and stuff like that. But for the most part, everybody's doing the same thing.
Oh, no doubt.
Everybody's using the same style of vibe of cameras and lenses and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
We're not shooting movies. We're shooting a podcast.
That's all we shoot.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do have a cinema camera.
Oh, yes, sir.
Shout out to me. Let me toot my own horn. I do have a cinema camera. Yes, sir.
I ain't mad at it.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
And I do have a B camera, but I'm working on the 3rd camera, which is going to be the baby to the cinema camera. But
absolutely.
Yeah, that's where I learned from. Of course, like we talked about earlier, I had to take a step back and just, what did they do over there at CNB? What was we doing on Jet Black?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to take a step back and be like, look. And then I had to jump on YouTube and be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
We got a good thing. I just want to make it pop a little bit more.
I'm gonna tell you, man. It's something about being around people who have done some great things in the with the camera, with lighting, with sound. You get a chance to see where their expertise are.
Absolutely.
And you learn from them expertise.
Absolutely.
If you want to continue, there's a blueprint. And we was under the blueprint was there.
Yeah.
Kid
it was.
Kid is sick with it.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's sick with it.
He is.
And he got some gems around him.
He do.
Yes, sir. He got some gems.
He got PC.
He got PC and Nolan.
Yeah.
Nolan around.
I don't think I knew. I don't think I knew Nolan.
But he got some sick individuals around him that's nice on that camera.
Yeah.
I met some, and these young cats.
Young.
So, man, they dope individuals. So, at any rate, you learn from that and you pull from that.
Yeah.
So that you can continue to progress and still be creative in your own lane.
Use
your own creativity.
That's right.
But you don't take light of what you've been around either and say, okay, wait, we did it this way.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, hold on. Let's try this right here.
Right.
It's okay to go off of the blueprint and then create your own lane. That's really okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's okay. That's the purpose of being up under leadership.
Watch this.
Tutelage. So, hey.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, man.
Was under some of the greatest coaches in NFL history. So he utilized what he learned from them, implemented his own, and it worked.
We ain't going to even talk about the head coach of Alabama, Roll Tide. He was with Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, what you expect?
Exactly.
He dangerous. What? What?
Them boys who come from Alabama is some serious, man.
What?
And I'm a Michigan fan.
And I mean, what?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm a Duke fan. So, it's like, I find myself sometimes saying, Roll Tide.
Now, I'm not going to say Roll Tide.
But I ain't going to lie. One time when they was winning, I sat at home. I was like, Roll Tide, I guess.
Did you say it like how they said it out of Roll Tide?
Roll Tide. No, I said it like this. Roll Tide.
And turn and look.
Somebody looking around, right? No hate over there.
Nah, don't get me wrong.
But I'm a Dookie for life.
Yeah.
I love Duke. I ain't gonna
I'm a Michigan Wolverines. And
man.
In college overall, Michigan is my team.
For sure.
I started, like me and my oldest brother, we got this. And that will go to the day God calls us to glory. But he's a Tar Heel fan.
Is he really?
And I'm a Wolverine fan.
I ain't mad at
you. So you know when Fab 5,
yes, sir.
when we lost, because Chris Webber called that timeout,
Oh man, don't bring it up.
Please, thank you. I'm glad you called me.
Yeah, don't even.
Yeah, let's go somewhere else because my feelings about to be hurt.
Yeah, because he gets upset about that if you bring it up. Do not bring that up to Brother Weber at all. And I get it though.
Weber, I don't know you, brother.
Nah, not at all. You don't know me.
I don't know you. So if you feel some type of way, all I know is I don't know why you called that. There ain't no time out.
No, man, don't do it.
Yeah, he don't understand. That scarred people for life, man. I can't remember how old I was, but as a young kid, and then my older brother, he didn't make it. No.
Yeah.
He still does.
He made it 10 times worse, right?
Oh man, I was just like, yo, what is this dude?
Yeah.
We ain't come to talk about.
Yeah, we did.
We came to talk.
Yeah, but listen, man, we're gonna go ahead and close it out because we starting to shift gears and talk about sports. But I hope that you guys have heard something on today that can help you become a better you. Listen, keep making it great and make it a great day. And please live a purpose-filled life. Am I saying it right, Woo?
A purposeful. I guess a purposeful.
Live a purpose-driven life.
There we go.
We'll just say it like that. We're going to bite off of that, okay? Yeah. A purpose-driven life. All right. And don't forget who you are. Know who you are.
That's right.
Believe it, dream it, and just do it. Listen, this is the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Ross Sr.
Woo, woo, woo.
And we out. Peace.